Can't believe this tracking drone fits in my pocket. This is the HOVERAir X1 PROMAX, and the reason I wanted to test this is pretty simple. I like drone shots, but I do not always want to deal with a full drone setup. With a traditional drone, I had to think about the controller, the flight paths, the framing, and whatever I can actually get a shot when I'm filming alone. This one is built in a very different way. Pawn takeoff, automatic tracking, quick flight modes, and a body that is small enough to throw into your pocket. So today I'm taking outside to see how easy is it to use. Let's get into it. So first, let's take a closer look at the drone itself. The X1 PROMAX flows into this compact little shape and it weighs about 192.5 grams. Even though this is the PROMAX version with the 8K camera, it is still under 250 grams and it feels closer to carrying an action camera. The design is also very different from most drones. The propellers are fully enclosed, so the whole thing feels more approachable when you're launching it from your hand or using it around yourself. I still treat it carefully, of course, because it is flying hardware, but the protective design does make it feel less intimidating. This is the cycling bundle, so the accessories are a big part of the experience too. You get 2 extra power, charging setup, a carrying bag, and diffusers and mounting gear for your bike. We'll talk about these accessories a bit later. Basically, this feels like a flying camera that can follow you around and film from angles you normally cannot get by yourself. So enough talking, let's take it outside and fly it. So what you just saw is the easiest way to use this drone. Turn it on, choose your mode, place it on your palm, push the button, and it takes off. After launch, I pick follow mode. And as you can see, the drum stays close and tracking me pretty tightly. The following performance is solid and the footage looks much more dynamic than a normal handheld shot. Sometimes the shot is only there for a few seconds. Maybe you're walking through a nice location, maybe you're riding through an open area, maybe the light looks good and you just want one quick motion shot before it changes. And the nice part is you can fly the HOVERAir X1 PROMAX without a phone and without a remote. So there is almost no setup. Whether you are a hobbyist, a professional shooter, or you just want to capture travel clips with a drone, this really lowers the barrier. And when you are done, you just hold your hand underneath it and it lands back on your palm. Every time I did this outside, people nearby stop and look at it. It still feels like pretty new experience. Besides the palm takeoff you just saw, you can also fly the drone with your phone or with this little controller. The HOVERAir app gives you a proper preview, shooting settings, mode selection, and more control over how the drone captures the shot. If you care about exposure, resolution, or framing, this is where the app becomes important. And overall, the control experience is actually pretty fun. Once you use the app or the beacon, it really starts to feel like a camera that happens to fly. For outdoor use, the beacon is the piece I found more interesting. The beacon gives you a screen preview and physical controls, so you do not have to keep checking your phone the whole time. That matters when you are moving, especially if you are riding, walking through a location, or trying to keep the setup more direct. It can also help with tracking through HoverLink, which uses the beacon signal to support the visual tracking. So if the drone has a harder time keeping track of you visually, the beacon gives another reference point. For the kind of tasks I'm doing today, especially the riding shots, that makes the whole setup feel more confident, inspiring. Now we get to the main task, tracking. I want to look at 3 things here. Can it keep me in frame? Is the following distance actually usable? And does the footage stay smooth when my movement changes? First, walking. For travel, outdoor vlogs, hiking paths, or location shots, this is probably the easiest use case. The X1 PROMAX follows from a comfortable distance, keeps me clear in frame, and the shot actually looks pretty good. The nice thing is that I do not have to think too much while walking. I can just move through the space and the drum handles the camera movement. Next, I try form tracking. This is the shot where I walk forward and the drone flies backward while filming me from the front. And this might sound easy, but not every small tracking drone can do this well. A lot of compact drones do not have rear obstacle sensing, so when they are tracking, they are more comfortable flying forward behind you. The X1 Pro Max has a rear sensor on the body, so it can pull off this kind of front follow shot much more naturally. It backs away while keeping me in frame, and that gives you a very different look from normal follow shot. Then I move to the riding task. The model is built around cycling, but I'm using an electric scooter here instead. The idea is still similar. I'm moving faster than walking speed, and I want to see whether the drone can keep up while still giving me that third-person outdoor shot. This is where the X1 Pro Max starts to feel more special. The Pro Max can follow up to 42 km per hour or 26 miles per hour, with shot bursts up to 60 km per hour. So for riding in an open and safe area, it has a lot more room than the original X1. The shot also feels different from the action camera mounted on the handlebar. That camera shows what I see. The X1 Pro Max shows me inside the scene. And for solo filming, that's the point. It gives you a shot that usually requires another person, another camera, or much more complicated drone setup. The tracking is probably the most important feature for me, but the automated flight modes are what make this feel more creative. Orbit is the classic one. You stand in the middle or ride slowly in an open area and the drone moves around you. It is a very easy way to show both the subject and the environment together. Zoom out is another useful one. It starts closer, then pulls back to reveal the location. This is the kind of shot I would use at the beginning of the travel clip or outdoor sequence because it quickly shows where you are. Then there's the bird's eye mode. This is where you can set the drone to fly up to a fixed height, turn the camera straight down, and shoot from above. And if you're in a nice looking environment, this mode can look really good. A path, a field, a beach, a closed open road, even a simple outdoor space can suddenly look much more cinematic from this angle. Here you just choose the mode and let it do the move. That's what I like about these modes. They are not only tricks, they are shortcuts to camera movement that are annoying to create when you're filming alone. Now let's talk about image quality, because this is one of the main reasons to look at the Pro Max model. The biggest number here is 8K, and I do not think 8K only matters because you want to export an 8K video. Most people watching this are probably still editing and uploading in 4K. The most useful part is flexibility. If I shoot a wide 8K drum shot, I can crop it later and still keep a very usable 4K frame. That means I can turn one wide shot into a tighter shot, fix the framing, or create a little camera movement in editing. That's generally useful for solo creators because you do not always get a perfect composition while the drum is flying. Then you also have 4K 120 FPS. For motion, this is the mode I would use a lot. Riding past the camera, turning through the frame, or getting a quick action moment looks much cleaner when you can slow it down. It makes simple outdoor movement feel more polished. Beyond that, the Pro Max also has the camera hardware to back this up. You get a larger 1/1.3-inch sensor, a wide 170-degree field of view, and Smooth Capture 2.0 stabilization. So the footage has more detail, a wider action camera feel, and better stability when the drum is moving. And if you want to add it more seriously, 10-bit HLG gives you a little more room to work with color and highlights in bright outdoor scenes. So the takeaway is simple. Pro Max is the version to look at if you care about both easy flying and stronger footage for editing. I think the most important accessories are the extra batteries, because outdoor filming always takes more attempts than you expect. You might test a few flight modes, redo a tracking shot, change your starting point, or wait for people to clear the background. That's how you burn through batteries. Each battery is rated for up to 16 minutes for flying time, and with 3 batteries, that gives you up to 48 minutes total. For daily outdoor shooting, that's honestly enough for most people, and I would not be too anxious about the flight time here. HOVERAir makes it pretty easy to get the shot you want without a lot of manual flying, so a lot of time the extra batteries are there more as a backup than something you are constantly depending on. ND filters are also important in bright daylight. They reduce the amount of light entering the camera so your footage can keep more natural motion instead of looking too sharp or jittery. And then there's a carrying bag and mounting gear. For this kind of product, portability is part of the whole point. If I have to pack it like a full drum kit every time, I'm less likely to bring it. With this model, it feels much more reasonable to take it out for the ride, a walk, or the quick outdoor shoot. So after using the HOVERair X1 ProMax outside, I think the clearest way to describe it is this. It is a small self-flying camera for solo motion shots. It is easy to carry, quick to launch, and the tracking modes can create footage that is hard to capture alone with a phone, selfie stick, extra camera, or tripod. The Pro Max version also adds the image quality sides that I care about. 8K gives more room for editing, 4K 120 FPS is great for action, and the tracking speed makes it much more suitable for outdoor movement. For me, this makes the most sense for creators, travelers, outdoor users, and anyone who wants more dynamic third-person footage without learning a full drone workload first. Of course, you still need to use it responsibly. Fly in open areas, stay away from crowds, avoid restricted rooms and airports, keep it inside, and follow your local routes. But as a pocket-sized flying camera, the X1 Pro Max makes the solo filming feel a lot easier. That's the HOVERair X1 Pro Max. If you want to check it out, I will leave the link in the description. That's it for today's video. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.